Greetings to all. Let us see how to play the ancient game called Moksha Patham. This game also enjoys other names like Parama Padham and the English name called Snakes and Ladders. This should be ideally avoided because Moksha Patham is about wisdom and values of the Vedas and the yoga philosophy, which is inherent in the Vedic culture. And therefore, Snakes and Ladders doesn't in any way describe the essence of this game. Firstly, to start this game, we need to go to the website yesvedanta.com/game. At the time of recording this, there is no commercial version, so you would have to click on the download and print out the template and sticky tape together the sheets of paper. Maybe in the future there will be a version on a printed board. Otherwise, the common question is about the differences of this game. Some games will have more blocks, some games will have less blocks. This game specifically is based on 72 blocks. And in truth, it doesn't matter how many blocks there are, because the purpose of the game is to provide an understanding about human nature, about the values that make our life prosperous, the universe, and the ultimate end of human pursuit, otherwise called moksha. We're saying this because the most common question is about number of blocks. And the counter to this is, are you interested in either the number of blocks or just playing the game and engaging and therefore enjoying a learning experience that can significantly benefit your life? My hope is that one day the game Moksha Patham catches on and it's played within families who wish to restore the spirit of Sanatana Dharma. In other words, that which is ever true, ever healthy, ever good, and ever pure for all beings. It is also a wonderful game to introduce to our young children, thereby exposing them to the beauty and the vastness of the Indian philosophy and the timeless wisdom within the Upanishads, the Vedanta, and the yoga philosophy. So, saying this, let's go straight into how to play this game. First, I will show us how to play this game by yourself, and then we will pretend like we're playing with two people. So you want to play with yourself just to figure out how the game works. First thing is to place any object in number 68. And then we have a dice. We spin the dice, and until we get number 6, we do not start. So suppose we got 6. Okay, so suppose the dice goes like that. Then what we do is we go from there onto number 1, and then we say, okay, so Janma. Ideally, you want to read what Janma is, because these are just not random descriptions, they are informed and intelligent descriptions of what Janma means. So for example, you say, okay, birth. It says, why here? And then it says, yet to discover that self and Brahman are not two. This is the essence of Advaita. I see myself as a small separate entity. I am now bound by a law of karma, that means cause and effect, and dharma, morality and ethics, or ethics. Throughout life, my biases overshadow dharma. That means your likes and dislikes overshadow what is right. For example, one cheats for the sake of protecting one's self-interest. And since every player is reborn with tendencies of number 3 to 6, that means everyone's born with anger, krodha, lobha, greed, bhuloka, born on earth, on which krodha and lobha take place, and also born with delusion, that means incorrect notions about reality. Since every player is born with 3 to 6, go to 6 now and read it out loud, then next player rolls. Therefore, when we go from here, we go here, we read out, we contemplate what this means, and then we immediately go here, number 6, moha, delusion. And then you read out moha, you say moha, delusion. Giving all power away to the world objects, that means fascinated by world objects. Seeing things, people as absolute reality worth living for. Pursuing them ongoingly reinforces a binding like and dislike, which makes the person invested in this entire game, repeating it over and over again. Sense of entitlement, mine, my car, my house, my wife, my husband, my kids. These are all attributes of moha delusion. Is seen as normal. In other words, mine is seen as normal. Narcissism, that means in love with myself. I live to get stuff. In other words, whoever is born on earth, why are we born on earth? To get stuff. I live to get stuff. Solution. Realize birth is limiting. That means that the disease of decay, death. In other words, we get born, undergo through disease, go through the decay, go through old age, go through the loss of people, and then this person goes through the same cycle all over again. This is the cycle of rebirth. Only born to end this game of rebirth. In other words, the purpose of this entire game is to, once the person is born, the highest end of this game of life is to attain moksha. And that is the ultimate end of this game. So we're on number 6. Then we spin again. 3. 1, 2, 3. And then again, you read number 9. Contemplate what that means. Now suppose you get 1. Okay, we spin again. We get number 1 like that. And then we go 1. And then we read tapaha. And then we contemplate. And then we say, why does tapaha lead me onto Swarga Loka? In other words, you go from here, read that, contemplate, and then ask, why does this lead onto Swarga Loka? And then you read about Swarga Loka to educate yourself. And then we continue playing the dice. 1, 1. And then we learn about Dharma. We read what is Dharma. And then Dharma takes us to where? All the way to Subuddhi, good intellect, number 60. And then you read this and you find out what is it that I have done to get Subuddhi. So in other words, this game teaches us how each one of these blocks are connected. And who designed these blocks? The Rishis. Therefore, we learn through their wisdom by reading each block and seeing how everything on the board in this game of life is connected. And then we continue spinning. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we keep on playing. And then you can read here more. There is no one block where you finish, but if there is one, it would be back here. But since life is not black or white, you cannot put it into one single block. You cannot put moksha to one single block. It has to be a few different blocks. And therefore it says here, as a general rule, aim for 68 or 45. Okay, Suvidya, direct knowledge. It also says you can also get 56, 60, 64, and 69. All of these are possibilities where moksha can take place. In other words, where removal of ignorance can take place. Okay, now suppose that you go here. So suppose we're here and we spin the dice and we somehow end up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we read Tamaguna. Now to continue, we go here. In other words, the snake takes us one level down. And then we continue spinning. Forwards is this way. But suppose that we are here and we get 5. So we go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's what happens when we get to the end over there. Otherwise, the general rule is the ladders takes us up and the snakes takes us down. Okay, scenario number 2. Suppose 2 people start. Okay, again, we spin and then suppose the person gets number 6. Okay, same thing, 6. You start here, read out loud, and then go straight onto number 6. And then the second player rolls. Now suppose the second player gets number 6. They too start here, contemplate. Obviously, they probably heard you already read this out, so you don't have to do it twice. And they also go here to number 6. And then the second player rolls and then go, okay, 1, 2, 3. And then the whole game repeats.